There. Here we go. Okay. Looks like I got everything working now. I am playing on my laptop today. I'm not playing on my RG Ally. Kind of just want a smooth experience. I don't know what it is with these town areas. They should not run this freaking poorly. There is nothing going on here except for people standing around. It drives me nuts. I don't understand the hit to performance. Now I'm not very good at my ranger. I have to give it that. I don't know. I feel like once I get like abilities unlocked, I'm like, oh, these are really cool abilities. You know, I can do like multiple arrows and stuff like that. But then like the damage fall off is ridiculous. Oh, you want to shoot 2 arrows? Well, each arrow is going to do 50%. Now you went through this change, additional 20% DPS loss. So like even though I can hit like, you know, a bunch of enemies at one time, it doesn't do a ton of damage. So I am using like the detonating ability, but it doesn't seem to be like it doesn't cast that fast. Maybe later in game when I'm like I got higher attack speed, it'll be better. So what I'll do is I'll throw down the toxins, and then I'll hit it with the gas. Of course, I'm going to come across a named enemy right away. There, you got him. So, like, honestly, I just use these two abilities over and over again, and it just makes it kind of boring. I know there's a lot of people who are perfectly fine playing like this. I am not one of those people. Like, I need more exciting and responsive abilities. I did try out the monk a little bit. I did think that was fun. Got to maybe like level 5, and even at like level 5 with like 2 abilities, I'm like, well, the monk is a lot funner. Now I probably will try out some other classes before I commit to another character long term. But I also kind of want to get this character at least through like the story before I give up on it. I'm like pretty far along it now as it is. Oh, come on. I know I stood in that blue circle there, but usually they don't do that much damage. Usually they're pretty wimpy. Now I also know that there was a patch today. Now if you look in the top right corner, you can barely see it, but it does say it's about 60 frames per second, where in town I was getting like 38. I do have it locked just for the stream. I do play unlocked when I'm playing by myself. It just... I don't understand how I can have all this crap going on and pull a pretty good frame rate, but when you're in town with nothing going on, you're getting like 38 frames a second. Like, it is horse crap is what it is. I know there's other players in town, but they're not doing anything. Most of the abilities are locked out. They might have a couple minions with them, but for the most part, yeah. Yeah, see, here's my problem. I didn't realize that blue was from a named. Good thing I'm not playing hardcore or anything. I'd really suck at this in hardcore. Hello, welcome to the stream. Come on. Let me up there so I can kill you. There we go. I didn't want to pick that up. see if we can get more people to watch today. I'm usually not super talkative on streams. My family's not home right now, so I don't sound like a crazy person talking to myself to them. Now, I also do believe, like, this summer I may set up my garage a little bit better, where I can actually play out there during the winter time. Just right now is a bad time. I do have a heater. It's a heated garage. It's just I would need to... I need to tear down some shelving, relocate it, and make some space to put a desk. That way I can kind of play loudly. And my family can be loud without me, the stream hearing them. Ooh, what is that? Probably something I can't use because I don't use staves. That's pretty cool though. Now I do like the stash. You throw stuff in there, and other people can, other characters can use it on the same account pretty easily. Now, of course, you will be taking up the stash, cache, and or your stash, sorry, and just filling it up with multiple characters. But that's how this game makes money, by selling you more room. Of course, you know, I did have to pay for early access, so they made money off me. I do wish early access would have came with a couple other benefits. No, yesterday, day before, I was exploring this map pretty good. I just couldn't find, like, the next area. No, I did find the Molten Vault, but I kind of didn't want to do that right now. I just wanted to find that Agaret? I don't know the name of the place. And then get that waypoint, and then I was going to go use the waypoint back to the Molten Vault. Swarming Nest. Ooh. This is bad. Come on, die. Alright. Iron Ring, what is that? I'll take that. can kind of also know like you've overstayed your welcome in certain areas because they will start really uh, limiting the experience. Oh, so now it says 3,932,000 experience per hour. Um, I don't know if they fixed something because I could only max out about 2.3 million experience per hour a couple days ago, and that was in the same map. Now I think this map was also rated for like level 41, and I'm 44, so you do get like reduced experience, I do believe. But yeah, that's 3.8 million. Yeah. It also depends on how fast you're, killing things. But I was killing things just as fast, if not even larger groups the other day. Now I seem to be getting more named, so maybe that's a bigger deal. I just felt like the last couple days has been real slow leveling my characters. It was taking like 2 hours per level. And I was clearing quite a bit of the story.
And go!
Throwing out some detonating arrows just for something different to do, rather than spamming the same ability over and over again. The same two abilities.
Detonation!
I feel like during the story mode, there's not a whole lot going on in between like maps. It's like you'll enter a map, someone will say 1 or 2 lines, and then you'll slog through an entire map like this. And like I feel like the later on in the game, the bigger the maps get. Right, the first couple maps in the game are really small, and then you get to these ones and they're a lot bigger, take a lot longer to get through. So, in earlier, I think the story moves a little bit more along. It's a little bit more in your head. Now that being said, it's not a very strong story. It's probably one of the weakest stories I have ever played in a video game. At least a modern video game like this may have a lot of lore to it that you have to pay attention to, but like as far as like stuff being presented to you, I don't know, it's just not that great of a story. I know a lot of people aren't really talking about the story either. It's not like Elden Ring where there's like tons of like people online explaining the story and stuff like that, and it's got this like really cool lore to it. This is just there's an old lady smoking a cigar in the current camp. It's that kind of like feeling to it where they don't care about making good characters. They just care about they wanted to make the combat feel good, and they prioritized that over storyline. Good, but when you're leveling up the first time, it does get quite boring. Sitting in the same map forever, and this isn't even that like they're randomly generated nonsense of maps. They're not that cool looking. Like there's a lot of detail on the screen, but like how many times have we passed these same pillars? It's like they generated like 100 good assets per map, and then they just regurgitate them. And then for some reason it just runs like crap. That really, like, I'm not seeing anything here that really. Let me scroll in with the mouse. Maybe I can't. I have to probably change my control scheme. I'm just not seeing anything here for this kind of performance loss. I know it's sounding complaining about this game all the time, but it does have an addictive gameplay loop. I think it's just like with the sockets and stuff like that, early game, it's just not that interesting because you are not at a point where you can start linking a lot of these things together. You're just very, very limited on your play style until probably mid to late game. I was kind of hoping to hit a milestone here. Like I'm in my mid 40s in the game, and I thought I would start having more options, but it's like, nope. Here's more gems, but because you need like a certain amount of like intelligence and dex and strength and stuff like that to start finally mixing them around, you still have to level up a little bit just to spend some points on other attributes. The attributes are kind of disappointing too. I think they're just there just to limit your socket use. Like they have very little benefit to the game. I mean, there's some stuff that will start stacking with them, or like so. Let's say dexterity. Well, as soon as I'm done killing these guys,
Nowhere to run.
we'll look at it. Okay. Let's go look at a stat. My main stat right now is dexterity. Where is it? Okay. 1 dexterity is +5 accuracy, and 5 dexterity is +1 dexterity support gem capacity. So apparently I'm limited by a number of dexterity support gems, but I'm not really using a whole lot, so that's never been a hindrance. As far as accuracy, once again, pretty low level. Enemies don't have a ton of evasion at this point, so my attacks always hit, like always hit. I've never had them not hit. Um, so like low game dexterity is not great. It just determines kind of nothing right now, right? So late game, understand probably like once you're in the high 80s, 90s, you're probably going to have a lot higher evasion enemies. And you're going to need that accuracy. Accuracy will probably be a very good stat to have towards the end. Early game, it's a boring stat. You know, you're not excited to dump points into it, especially when you're working like 2 hours to get one attribute point. You're like, dang, I'm going to drop it into a stat that doesn't have an immediate benefit. So let's go to passives. Now, like I said, eventually they will. I gotta get back here. See if I can find it. So there's a passive around here where if for every 5 dexterity, I forget if your speed increases or if your crit increases. Nope. It's going to take me forever to find it. This tree is massive. Plus 25 dexterity. So initially, the points aren't even going to do a whole lot for you. It's not until later on where you can start finally getting additional benefits by spending in your attribute tree or passives. It's just getting there. Now you can also earn, additional passive points by doing side quests. I'm not sure what the total points can be. And I know that once you also hit end game, which you have to beat the storyline twice, I do believe, to play end game, then you can finally unlock your map and then, have points you can drop in. But like, geez, in order to get to that point, you're already put it in like probably 100 hours into the game. And it's like, oh, like I gotta play for a week straight before I can finally start having fun.
That would only slow me down.
Oh wow, hold on. Am I finally getting like a higher level bow? I haven't like updated my bow in like a good long while. All right, 45 to 66. All right. Well, maybe I do have a zealot bow already. No, I think I did pick it up. I was thinking the zealot bow would see how it says I'm going to use my mouse here. 14 to 19. It's weird when I cursor over. Oh, it's probably because it's pointing to the stuff in the background. 14 and 19 physical damage. This one's 8 to 13. This one would probably actually be better. 17 lightning. I don't need a light radius. I don't know. We'll have to look at this one later. I think I'm getting filled up here, so I might... Oh. Something I can drop here. That's not that great. I'd rather have that chiseled target. Just because I can salvage it, I'd want that instead. But hopefully I can... Where... Is it because I'm playing on PC? Usually it would be left trigger A button for teleportation, but apparently it's not set up. I gotta set bind. So left trigger. Where's left trigger A? Why is it not listed? I don't understand. I also play on my Ally a lot, and when I use the those panels, it's usually full screen and it looks a different layout. So if you don't know, you can adjust your user interface quite a bit. It's still not an extreme amount of customability, but it is still a nice amount. So I go to options, interface, panels. We'll do the full screen panel. And then that way it pops up, it's a full panel. You can see a lot more. Alright, I am just dumping off some stuff in town right now just to make room for my inventory.